Well, Andrew, it's good to have you on Cliff's Notes. Thanks for setting in with us. How you doing today?
Doing pretty good. How about you?
Doing well. Last night wasn't too bad.
No, I knew I was coming here, so I tried to be a little conservative.
Yeah.
Walked around a lot yesterday, so,
Yeah.
tired, but it was good.
Well, I see you're rocking the On Cloud, so you've got the right shoes.
Yeah, thanks to the wife. She got those for me for Christmas. So.
Yeah, they a good shoe is definitely necessary when you're hitting the trade show floor.
I think 22,000 steps yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Second day in a row doing that.
Yeah,
So today's probably going to be more.
Putting it in.
Yep.
Yeah. So you work with Villager Asphalt.
Yes,
Tell
sir.
us a little bit about what you guys specialize in. And
We specialize mostly in asphalt milling.
Okay.
We do paving, construction, crushing, a little bit of, all that stuff. But me personally, I run in the milling department in the
Okay.
South. So huge milling operation. We travel all over South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee. Had a crew in Florida last week. Dabbled
Okay.
down there a little bit. But I don't do a whole lot of the paving myself or crushing. So when we start getting into that, I pawn it off to the other guys that know that stuff more.
Sure.
But,
so your specialty really is in the milling aspect. And when we talk about milling, just for reference, we're talking about asphalt removal.
correct.
So those,
not a CNC milling machine.
Yeah.
Right.
So those machines that look like big dinosaurs that are moving down the road, chewing up the asphalt, spitting it in the back of a dump truck. Right?
Yep. You got the big conveyor on the front. You see them parked on the side of the road, or holding you up in traffic. But, yeah, that's us.
Yeah. Well, one of my favorite things to see is a milling machine on the road because that's where we do business.
That's right.
We buy, I think, Chris Capps and you work pretty closely together. Yep. And sometimes we get your recycled teeth back, right?
Right. Talked about it last night or night before at dinner.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to get some more hopefully in the next week or two. So.
Awesome. Well, how did you end up in the milling industry?
Man, that's a good question. It's been 20 years now. I think I was just going broke racing and needed a better job. I was spending all my money racing and ended up, my brother was working at a construction company and they did a little bit of asphalt milling and he called me. He's like, hey, they pay pretty good. You got to travel though? So I don't care. I'll do whatever. And started as a laborer and learned how to run a machine and kind of worked my way up there. I was there for right at 10 years and left there, came here, kind of did the same thing, started at the bottom again. And I've been here for about 11 years now.
Okay. So it just started with drag racing kiddie fun, right?
Yeah, I was broke. I needed more money to go racing. That's where all my money went. So.
Now, I think I may have seen a picture and even a video of you on a motorcycle. So when you're saying drag racing, we talking cars or bikes or anything with tires?
Anything with tires.
Okay.
I race a skateboard. That's what we got.
That may have been cheaper than that would have been another way to make the funds last a little bit longer.
Oh, yeah.
So what are you running today?
I've got a Hayabusa.
Okay.
Hopefully racing it here in about 2 or 3 weeks.
Okay.
It's been parked all winter, so I'm itching to get out there and do that. Smaller stuff, 1/8 mile, some 1/4 mile, bracket racing.
Yeah.
Hobby, just for fun right now.
Yeah.
Not as serious as it was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Got some cars.
So before we get to 4 tires, let's just stick with 2 for a second.
Okay.
So what's the speed at 1/8 mile versus 1/4 mile if you do ever run quarter? What's the top end speed?
About 150 in the 1/8 mile.
Okay.
And 200 in the 1/4.
Okay. So what's the fear level or is there any at 200 mile per hour?
There's none.
Okay.
When I first started, it was, I remember my first time going from 1/8 mile to 1/4, I was nervous. I was like, this is going to be crazy. And you can feel it. It's a lot different now. I mean, it's like a Sunday cruise. I'm kind of bored. At 200 miles an hour, the bike's not fast enough.
Yeah. Okay.
So you kind of lose that thrill. And that might sound crazy, but at 200 miles an hour, when you get to the end of the track, if you're on a bike and you go to sit up and slow down, it will suck you off. You turn into a parachute.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you're extremely low profile. You're basically laying down on the, what would be is that still the gas tank on that bike?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
So a lot of people use their body to slow down, like on a really fast pass and you're running over 200.
Yeah.
You've only got so far to slow down. You're using the brakes, you're using your body, you're using everything.
Okay, because you don't have a chute on a bike.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just as hard to slow down as it is to go fast.
Okay, so we've been in the off season. In a few weeks, you're going to get back out on the track. When you're sitting there getting ready to make your first pass, what's the biggest concern in your mind?
Oh, man. Try not to red light. Usually that's all I'm worried about, trying to cut a good light.
Just from being rusty.
Yeah. Just rusty, worried I'm going to slip the clutch too far or not enough, you know. There's an art to that. So you let the clutch go too fast, you're going to wheelie or bog down.
Yeah.
Slip it too far, you burn the clutches up, go slow. But it's not too much. It's just natural now. So
man, I love NHRA stuff. And I've been to a few different races, and my two favorite things to watch are Nitro and the bikes. Okay. Just because the Nitro is just what it is. I mean, it's basically a nuclear bomb going down the road at, what are they hitting? Mid threes now?
3 something.
Yeah. And they don't even run a full quarter anymore, right?
1,000. I think the bikes do go the quarter.
Okay.
Yeah,
but Nitro does not. After I think one of the last fatalities they had or whatever it was.
1,000 feet.
I think. So it's a sight to see.
There's not much that scares me, but I don't know that I would ride a Nitro Harley. And if I decided to do it, my wife might stop that one.
I would think so. I would think so. Well, let's get back to Villager just a little bit. So, talking about tungsten in the asphalt world, just talk a little bit about your experience. We don't have to talk about brand recognition of anybody per se, but it's always a competition out there that's pretty stiff on bit performance. So, for anybody who's not aware, the machines that are eating the asphalt are a steel body with a tungsten tip that's brazed on, which is another material science feat, how that tip stays on. With just like that little bitty piece of braze. That to me, that's a modern marvel of how that happens.
I still don't know how it works.
Because how many horsepower is that running on the drum?
I don't even know. I'm gonna say 1,000 horsepower.
Okay.
I mean, that's.
But the RPM is up there. It's moving,
2,000, 2,200, somewhere in there.
Yeah. So like when we pulled out of Cosmo today, I noticed the road there has just been freshly milled. Yep. So I'm like, yes, a little bit of tungsten at work. So let's just talk about tungsten performance on asphalt. You probably at times when you're doing full base removal, you're getting down in the dirt. Mm-hmm. So just talk a little bit about how tungsten performs, maybe where there's some concerns and hitting manholes. Like what are some of the challenges you face out there in the field?
All that stuff happens every day. The tungsten, the carbide, it baffles me. We'll be out milling a road 12 inches deep, and halfway through the shift, you go to check the teeth. The carbide's great. It's the steel body that it's brazed to is what wears out typically. They rotate, so it keeps them from getting the flat spots and lasting longer. And a lot of times the key to getting a good tooth right now is not the carbide. It's that body, keeping it rotating. So different companies are trying different things with shapes and different size washers and all kinds of stuff to try to protect the body or, try to keep it from locking up and the flat spot in the carbide.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but if that happens, so just for visual purposes, we've got a cylinder, what we're calling a drum, that is anywhere from 2 feet wide to full lane is probably 12 foot.
Correct.
And then the diameter is what, 3 to 4 foot?
It's it's twice the size of that table maybe.
Yeah.
And on a normal 8-foot drum, you might have 150, 160 teeth.
All right.
So you got the holders that are welded to the drum. That holder holds the tooth, so the tooth, it's got a little shank. It goes up in the body of the holder, and that rotates inside the holder. So, but they just, they're constantly digging and grinding, and they're designed so they're on like a little bit of an angle.
Mm-hmm.
So it pulls all the material to the center. So it pushes it up onto the conveyor, shoots it out. So a lot of those teeth toward the middle will just constantly get sandblasted nonstop as they're
because they're getting across this drum, like you're saying, they're kind of turned in.
Yes.
And they're turned in because as you're milling the asphalt and the debris up, it's pushing it towards the middle, and that's important because that's where your conveyor's at, right?
Correct.
So that's when you're going down the road and you see that big arm, it's feeding it to that conveyor that's then feeding it to the dump truck.
Correct.
So those bits in the middle will they're not necessarily doing more work, they're just getting more rub.
Right.
Because that's where the material is. I've never even thought about that.
Yeah, so in one shift, you don't see a lot of difference in the teeth in the middle versus the outside teeth. Sometimes you can a little bit. Where you really see the wear is a month or two down the road, you can see it starting to impact the holders that hold the teeth.
Yeah.
And you have to start replacing those and doing maintenance on that to make sure it's all straight across, or you start to get a little bit of a kind of a concave in the drum, and then you don't have that flat surface.
Yeah. I know over the years, so pardon the pun, but I cut my teeth on road construction. I started that when I was 14 and 15 in our industry. And I actually kind of led the buyback program that we have now that Chris runs. I started that when I was 15. And so even back then, the conversations we're having right now are the conversations that were still relevant back then. As the machines get bigger, have more horsepower, it has a knock-on effect, for the different challenges, because something's going to give, something's going to break, something's going to wear out. Yep. And if my memory is correct, one of the things that was always problematic is you could create a tool that had a better steel body. Like, for example, we do thermal spray. So you could coat that tip or the steel part. You could coat it almost with like a tungsten thermal spray to give it like better wear application, but your cost goes exponentially up. Right. And then the danger of hitting a manhole, or if nothing happens with the bit, say it's completely fine, but something gets down in the holder and then the bit stops spinning. Now you got a high dollar tool that stops spinning, and now it's just a drag on effect and it's going to flat spot.
Correct. And yeah, you can hit manholes, buried manholes, and you can have a bad day and break tons of teeth at once, and you're under there changing a bunch. There's some other teeth out there where the tips are super strong, the body is not, and you can drop that tooth. It's there's some diamond teeth out there too.
Yeah,
they don't
like they have the little PDC tips on them.
PDC diamond tip brazed onto carbide.
Yep.
And that carbide body will last forever. And it sounds like a great tooth until you drop it on the ground or hit a piece of concrete. They break really easy. That braze pops off, or the PDC breaks, and they're super expensive.
Yeah.
I think the carbide's where it's at. That's yeah.
So everything kind of has a trade off.
It does. You can spend a ton of money and they last forever if you don't hit a manhole.
Yeah. Are most people still running the full washer on the shank?
Yep. There's, they're trying heavy duty washers. All kinds of different stuff, really to protect the holder. Yeah,
that keeps the holder from wear on the inside, right?
Right. Yeah. If you don't change teeth when you should, when they start wearing out, the body washes out on the tooth. Then it starts hitting the holder. Then you're doing more instead of just changing teeth every day. Yeah, you're changing holders now. Yeah, and you don't want to do that.
Yeah. So when I first started, quick change on the holder system was just coming about. The only group that had a quick change at that point was a group out of Indiana called Keystone Engineering.
We used to deal with them.
Yeah. And then Virkin, they created a quick change. And some of the other big names, Kenna Metal, Sandvik, all them, it was like a rush to try to get this quick change system because everybody at that point, for the most part, were weld on.
Right.
And on top of that, nobody ran the full length clip. Everybody had just a short clip, and nobody ran a washer on the bottom of the bit.
Probably going to show my age. I was just getting into it back then. Okay. It was probably like 2008, 2007, 2008 when all that was going on.
Yep. Yeah. So since then, they've evolved to full length clips, which protects the inside. They put the washer, and the washer. Does the washer also help the bit rotate, or
Yes.
does both, and it protects the top of the holder, right?
Correct. Yeah. If sometimes a small piece of dirt in the wrong place will lock that washer up, and then it locks up, it's no good, and you can walk behind the machine, you'll see a streak. A good ground guy that's running on the mill, he can look and tell you when the teeth are getting wore out and it's time to pick up and change them.
Yeah, because I noticed that some just from my years of experience when I'm driving on a milled road and everything looks even and nice, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, there's a bad tooth or two right there because that extra groove is kind of off.
Even my wife, she's never stepped foot on a milling machine, but we'll be going down the road and she'll point out stuff when we hit a milled surface. Who milled that? Look at that pattern. They needed to change teeth. So
that's hilarious.
And my 7-year-old's not far behind her.
So what else? I mean, just from a tungsten perspective, I mean, a milling machine, all it's doing is eating. It's chewing, right?
It's chewing up the asphalt.
So where else does maybe tungsten or some other alloys help you guys with longevity, keep from downtime, breakage, wearing out, things like that?
Actually, a few more spots. It's not as we don't use it as often. We're not replacing it as often. Like the teeth, we'll change every day. So we're going through boxes of teeth every day. The other places we'll use it are on the paddles, ejector paddles on the drum. They're a big flat thing right in the middle, which helps push that material to the conveyor. Those, a couple times a year you'll change them.
Okay.
And then you can hard face them. You can do a lot of stuff, which I know you guys do some Cuda Grit stuff, and I haven't learned a lot about that yet, but I'm working on it.
Yep.
I'm going to show Tim, our owner. He's with us. He's going to check that out today.
Awesome.
I think.
Okay.
Another place is the side plate wear skis on the mill. So they ride on the paved surface, and they just ride. And that's kind of where when we're setting the depth of the machine, that's our 0 point. So if we're 0, that's just riding. It looks like a snow ski, smaller, metal, heavy. It's got a carbide bottom, or a lot of different types out there, but you can hard face those and make them last longer.
So is that like that's riding at one level and the drum is on the other side of that, and it's down and engaged on that?
Right. So you got your side plate with the ski, and then the drum, how the drum is in here, and another side plate on 8 foot on the other side of the machine. Those are kind of your sensors. If you were to run 0 and set those down where they touch and the machine would come down, a perfect 0 is when the teeth are just kind of tickling the asphalt.
Gotcha.
So when you want to go 1 inch, the drum will go 1 inch below those skis.
Gotcha.
So that's kind of how you gauge your depth. So those just ride. They just slide on the asphalt all day. Wherever that machine's going, those things just grind on the, it's just they just rub all day long or all night long.
Yeah.
So they wear down.
And so what the tungsten then is doing for that is just that, if we're calling that a ski, that's giving that part more life.
Right.
So you got less downtime and trying to change those, the ground crew having to change that out.
Right. And those, it's a wear item. You change them. Again, not every day. It's something you can do once every couple months.
Yeah.
Or, the harder that material, the longer we can go.
Yeah.
So, I think that's one reason I want to look at the Cuda Grit stuff. Keep circling back to that, but we've been talking about it for a little while. We just hadn't done it. So.
Okay. Yeah, we'll have to stop by and check that out. All right, let's talk. So machines, we see them running down the road, road crews, crazy drivers today, distracted drivers, drunk drivers. Safety is always an issue for you guys out on the road, right?
Probably number one. That's the number one topic every week. We just had a company-wide safety meeting 2 weeks ago. We did one, our New York office. Everybody up there was at one. The week before that was our Southern Division. Okay. And it's a full week of safety stuff.
So how is automation or AI, any type of modernization of the machine, is there anything coming down the pipeline that's really making a difference for safety for workers that kind of gets them out of the oncoming traffic?
There's always going to be a little bit where they're right there at the edge of the road. A lot of it you can't control. They're trying to check the depth and stuff. But since I started to where we're at now, it's a lot different. You know? The grade controls are a lot easier to run. You can move them around a lot more. The operator up top can do it a lot easier. When I started, we had hand cranks. There was no digital
wow.
controls. You know, one side of the mill, if you wanted to go down, you didn't hit a button. You ran over there and turned the crank. It was like a jack handle.
Oh
and
wow.
it would start going down. You run to the other side and do it. So you're on both sides of the mill all night. Then you started getting the grade controls, and you can hit the button now and make it go down. You can move them, you know, from one side to the other. They started getting a little more operator friendly. Then you started getting them up top, and if you're in a bad spot, the ground guy can kind of get to a safe spot. And the operator can do a lot of it. So definitely getting better there. Lighting, canopies. I mean, they got full cabs on some of these things now. We don't have one, but they look amazing.
I saw some. I'm like, man, that looks awful comfortable.
Yeah, we get our guys joke around all the time, like, when am I getting an air conditioned cab? You know? And then you see them at these shows, it's like, wow. And then how they work is pretty cool.
Well, Josh McKnight, the other guy that you mentioned, he said, I think it was ConAg a few years ago. He had his son here, and they were running. I don't remember who the company was, but he was running a digital dozer. But the dozer was in like Arizona. I mean, it was like 2 states over.
Yep.
But it's literally in a field. Like they have the video of the dozer running, but he's just sitting here in Las Vegas, like running it.
That stuff's crazy.
Yeah.
It's coming.
It definitely is.
Coming.
Definitely is. Well, hey man, I appreciate you stopping by on Cliff's Notes. Thank you guys for the work that you do. I know a lot of times people are driving and they get super frustrated, but I like nice cars. We've talked about cars a little bit, and sometimes shit's just got to be repaired.
That's right.
And so slow down a little bit, be patient. Appreciate the business partnership that we have. Sounds like you guys run a really great business. Thank you for what you do, and thank you for your business, and thanks for being on Cliff's Notes.
Thank you for having me. It's
All right.
been a pleasure.
Take care.
Thank you.
Cliff's Notes, Cliff's Notes, Cliff's Notes, Cliff's Notes.